Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about slow fashion. As you can see, I've got a lot of props out here today. I'll be using them throughout the video and hopefully this will be interesting. I'm the kind of person who really enjoys mixing brands. I will mix high-end designer brands with lower-end budget brands. And if you look at my wardrobe, you'll see brands ranging from Chanel, Gucci, Max Mara, Burberry, to Uniqlo, Zara's, and H&M. I am kind of the full-range consumer. I'm really not a snob when it comes to brands. As long as the item suits my style, I feel like the quality and the value is there and it's comfortable for me. So in this fast fashion world, how do we as consumers practice slow fashion? That's going to be the focus of this video. As we all know, the fast fashion industry has been criticized quite a bit over the last few years, specifically because of the high volume of items that they churn out, typically low quality, low budget, every season. It leads to a lot of churn and burn. And critics argue that fast fashion leads to a high level of waste, high level of pollution in our landfills, and also just general overconsumption. And you guys know, if you've been here before and you've watched some of my recent videos, that I have a personal mission to try to enjoy but without over consuming. So it's a fine line, but I really don't like the idea of over consuming to the point where I no longer appreciate what I have and it's just more and more and more of the next new thing. I'm really trying to enjoy what I have, be grateful for what I already have purchased, and really just use those items more. So my theory is that whether you're purchasing from high-end designers or from budget brands, you can still practice slow fashion. Okay, so I'm going to start with how I make my purchase decisions. This one here, believe it or not, this blazer, it's this beautiful chocolatey brown blazer that I've worn so much. I can't even tell you how many times I've worn this, and I've had it for over 10 years. So this piece is over a decade old and it's absolutely gorgeous. I get compliments on this every time I wear it. It just kind of pulls a whole look together. It's very structured but feminine. Anyway, this one here, believe it or not, I purchased from Zara's. Now, I do believe that the quality of the materials from Zara's has declined quite a bit over the years. So I'm sure that the quality of this is just better because it's over 10 years old. This piece here was made in Spain and it's a mix of wool and then the nylon and some rayon lining. But this one here, you can see I've never got it repaired or worked on or restitched or relined. It's in pretty much perfect condition. And my point here is this: when I do shop from brands like Zara's or H&M or Uniqlo, I have quite a few sweaters from Uniqlo, I will examine the pieces to make sure that the quality is decent for the price that I'm paying. You know, I don't want any wonky stitching, loose stitches. I don't want patterns to be misaligned. I don't want buttons hanging off. I don't want the fabric to be so thin that it's see-through when I put my hand under it. So these are some basic things. And if you feel like that kind of work sounds like too much time, it only takes me about 2 or 3 minutes to quickly examine a piece when I'm in the dressing room, and I can kind of tell right away if it's worth it or not. And then I also look at things like versatility. Can I wear this with lots of different outfits, different pants, different skirts? Can I wear it over a dress? And I, for this at the time when I purchased it, I was like, yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful blazer I can wear in so many different ways. So I'm really glad that I purchased this. And yes, again, it's from Zara's and it has lasted really, really well. The same goes for when I shop these days. When I go into Zara's or Uniqlo, I will feel the quality and also ask myself, how many times can I wear this, to really kind of resist against the temptation to just buy into the latest trends that I know that after 3 to 4 months, I'm going to get sick of it or it's not going to look as cool or appropriate anymore. And then I will be tempted to get rid of it, which that will lead to waste, right? This one here, I'm going to actually illustrate something with this one later in the video, but this is a cashmere sweater from Uniqlo. I found that the cashmere sweaters from Uniqlo are pretty decent quality for the price. And this one here is this beautiful caramel color. You guys know I love this color. It's just a simple crew neck. And again, when I checked out their cashmere sweaters, I felt them. I checked the stitching, like under the arms and the hems and all of that. And I felt like, yeah, for the price, the quality was there. So you're not going to get the best quality because you're also not paying the highest price, but it's kind of a balancing act, right? It's the value that we're looking at. The same goes for this really long cozy sweater dress here that I think I've snapped a few photos of it on and posted it on my Instagram, and a lot of you were like, oh, that looks so cozy, and it really, really is. It's got this nice ribbed turtleneck, and it's so long I can't show you, but it goes pretty much down to my ankles, and I'm about 5 feet 6 inches tall, so it's pretty long. This one here is from H&M. And it is at least 3 or 4 years old. So it's not a new item. There is some maintenance that I need to do to keep these items looking fresh, so I'll show you later in the video. So again, when I'm purchasing from really any brand, whether it be high-end or, lower fast fashion budget brands, I'm looking at the quality, I'm feeling it, I'm checking it out. I'm thinking about versatility, how often and how I can wear it with different outfits, and the longevity. Is it a pretty basic staple? Is it a classic? Is it something that suits my style in the long run? Or is it something that's just going to be, a quick trend that passes that will lead me to want to discard it very quickly? So those are the 3 points that I look at when I'm purchasing really from any brands. The next thing that I do in order to practice slow fashion is to really protect the items that I know I'm going to want to use for a very long time. So as an example, I purchased these Gucci Brixton loafers pretty recently. It's been only a couple of months. I shared them on my channel. I think I did an unboxing. And as you can see here, the bottom is all leather, which is quite delicate. So I went ahead and brought these to my local cobbler, shoe cobbler, and I asked him to put on these rubber soles. So I left them there for maybe 2 or 3 days, and when I picked them up, he had put these rubber soles on to protect the bottoms. Especially living in Manhattan, I walk a lot, and when it snows or rains, or if there's just like junk on the street, I don't want to step into all of it because that would really damage the leather. So to do this was less than $100, and then he also protected the leather, coated it with something so that it would also resist some of the elements. So here's what they both look like. I've obviously walked around in them, so they're a little bit dirty, but they're going to last me pretty much forever if I take good care of them. And once the rubber soles wear out, I can get new rubber soles put on and just go on and on. I also stuff my shoes so that they maintain their shape and they don't get squishy and ugly. And I also have these from Chanel, also another pair of leather loafers. They're still in the box because I haven't worn them yet, but I plan to as soon as the weather gets a little bit better. Right now it's still quite cold and still a little bit snowy and all of that. But I'll just show you. The next thing that I need to do is to bring these to the cobbler and basically request the same service that I got for the Gucci's. So here they are. Beautiful, beautiful. I got these at the Chanel sale for 40% off. I did a video on it, and you can see the bottoms are quite slick. So I do need a little bit more traction, and I love that protection. So I'll get the rubber soles put on both ends here as well. And hopefully this too will last me forever. So my point is, if you purchase an item that you want to have last for a long time, it may be worth investing a little bit of money to protect it so that it lasts longer. Here's another example. So this is my Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. You guys know how much I really enjoy and adore this bag. And many of you have commented how the patina on my vachetta is so even and so beautiful. And how did I get it that way? And so I've talked about this before, but as you can see, there's really not a lot of like watermarks or stains, maybe tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but barely even. Yeah, you can't even notice it. And the same goes for the sides and the tab. And the reason why is because as soon as I purchased this, I decided I wanted to protect the patina, and I got the Apple Guard, which you can get on Amazon. I always link it down below in my description box, so it should be there. I literally just sprayed all the vachetta. The same goes for clothing. For items that can go in the wash, I turn everything inside out, no joke. So I've taught my kids this as well. So all of their items, maybe except for their socks, I ask them to turn inside out, and then we will flip them back when we're folding the laundry. And that is because, especially for darker colors like this, if you turn them inside out, the outside dye and the coloring will be preserved for a longer period of time. So whenever I give some of my clothes to my mom, she likes taking some of my clothes, or to my sister or friends, they always comment, wow, you must have never worn this, or wow, this must be a brand new item. And when I tell them that, no, I've actually worn it a lot and I've had it for 12 years, they're shocked, and they always ask me, how is that possible? And I'm telling you, it's because I turn my clothes inside out. It's a small step, but it makes a big difference. Other things that I do is in my closet, I put small packs of baking soda in each corner. So I've got a little walk-in closet, and this is what sits on the bottom of each of them. I actually have one high on a shelf as well, and this really wicks away moisture. So it's mostly because I store all of my leather handbags in there, lined up in their dust bags on the shelves, and I don't want any moisture getting to them because that could really damage the items. So this is a really small and easy investment to purchase some packs of baking soda on Amazon and to just stick them in your closet and have peace of mind that you won't have too much moisture in there. Also, these two, so a good hanger. And I wish I was the kind of person that had all uniform, the same exact hangers all lined up beautifully, because for me, that would be much more aesthetically attractive. And you guys know I have more of a minimalist aesthetic, so I really enjoy seeing uniformity, no clutter. And if I had hangers that looked the same, I would really enjoy that. But I purchase just good hangers, even if they're not the exact same, because I found that good hangers really do maintain the shape of your clothing much better than the cheap hangers. And the reason why I have different kinds of hangers is because depending on what the item is, if it's a dress or a coat, depending on what it is, some hangers, the shape, like this might be too long and it might actually poke into or stretch out one of my shirts. Another hanger might have another kind of shape that doesn't work for a coat. It may not hold it up as well. So I do have a mix of hangers, and aesthetically, like I said, I don't love that, but the whole point is to preserve my items so that they last longer and that they look good for a longer period of time. So just get some good hangers. And this one here, if you're wondering, this is just a moth repellent. I've actually never seen a moth in our apartment or anywhere living in the city for the past however many years. But just in case, because you don't want moths coming in and eating up your clothes. And I have a lot of sweaters, so I don't want them eating my sweaters. So I put just these little moth rings on maybe, I think I have like 3 or 4 in my closet, and then maybe 1 in each drawer in my dresser. So I don't overdo it, but this also gives me peace of mind, and it's a small step. Okay, if you got a sneak peek of these pillows earlier and you're wondering why in the world they're sitting here, it's because I want to talk about how I maintain and care for some of my items. And it's basically with this little gadget here. I know, what is this? This is actually a lint remover. I am so excited to share this product with you because I don't know, I always felt like gadgets to maintain your stuff was kind of a waste of money, too much work, until I got this. And let me tell you, I have been obsessed. I've been removing lint from all of my sweaters, but also my pillows, which is why I had to show you. And my husband saw me doing it and he was like, stop. First, because I'm like obsessed and this thing is running all night, all day, and my kids are like, okay, that's enough. But he wanted me to stop so I could show you the before and after. I've got 2 of these, and these pillows are, a few years old. They're from West Elm. They're placed on our sofa in the living room, and they were getting really gross, you guys. They were getting really gross with like little balls of lint everywhere. And I was thinking maybe I should switch out the covers, but I thought, let me try the lint remover on here on a higher setting. So this one here, and I'll link this down below, not sponsored. This is from a company called Taurus. It's just from Amazon. I really like the design of it, and I like that it was handheld. So I thought, let's give it a try. And it's very simple. So that's how it turns on. You can hear the motor. It's chargeable. It also comes with a couple extra sets of blades. This is very easy. You basically open it up and the blades are there. It comes with a little brush here. So you can pull this little brush out and then remove the lint when you're ready to empty it out. It's kind of like a pencil sharpener. When it gets full, you empty it. This side here is the really easy part. It's like a magnet, and you'll see all the little lint balls, and then you can scrape them out. I don't know. I get really geeky about products like this when I actually love it. So it has different settings, and you can do like really gentle, which I'll show you on my cashmere, and then you can do a little bit stronger on things like this. So I'll show you really quickly. This is all part of what I believe to be slow fashion, maintaining and caring for the items so that they last longer versus getting all gross and then tempting you to want to throw them away. So that's basically how it works, and I really do regret not listening to my husband, because I think if I showed you one pillow, the before and then the after, you guys would have been like, holy cow. But let me try it on my sweater. Oops, a bunch of things are falling. I'm gonna get to those in a minute as well. So this is one of my favorite sweaters. It's really cozy and comfortable. I mentioned it's cashmere. It's from Uniqlo. I've had it for, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so, at least 3 or 4 years. So you can see, let me change the camera angle actually. So you can see here at the bottom, lots of pilling. This is probably where it rubs against seats and probably my handbags. So there's more pilling down here. So I'm just going to demonstrate and show you how effective this is. Okay, so I don't know if you can really see clearly on camera, plus my shadow I think is hanging over the camera too, but this is the spot that I just did, and this is the spot that I didn't touch. So if you can see the difference, this right here is a lot cleaner and flatter now, and here you've still got little pieces, little balls sticking up. I'll do this side here one more time. Do you see the difference? I see the immediate difference, and if you spend a little bit more time with this, then it can get a lot cleaner. So as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of this lint remover. I was not a believer until I tried it. I've had this now for over a month. Like I said, I've been removing lint from everything I can think of. I even did the tennis balls that my husband uses because he's been into tennis lately, and a few of them got really hairy, so I used the max setting, and he was like, whoa, it really worked. The tennis balls look brand new now. So I'm telling you, clothes, pillows, tennis balls. I looked at a ton of Amazon reviews for other lint removers, smaller ones, bigger ones, but I saw some reviews talking about how they broke really easily. This is why I wanted to try this one out for at least a month, and I've used this, I've probably emptied it out like at least 10 times now because it's gotten full with lint, and I highly recommend this. So I will link the information down below if you're interested. Doesn't have to be this one, but I highly recommend some lint remover if you enjoy sweaters. Oh, by the way, I know there's a Chanel box sitting back there. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I wanted to mention that you guys know my Cartier watch. If you've seen it before in previous videos, I actually sent it in to get a full service done. We did a full diagnostic, and they're going to do all kinds of stuff to it, and it's going to come back looking brand spanking new. This is a 16-year-old watch. I love it. It's my only watch, and I will do a dedicated video on the before and after on my watch when it comes back to me, but I wanted to just mention it in this video because maintenance and care for items can look like many different things, whether it's a lint remover, whether it's sending in for servicing, whether it's a handbag that you send off to a handbag spa to kind of rejuvenate it. So I do think these little things, I know they're small investments to really preserve the lifetime of an item that you really enjoy. I feel like this box here is like the elephant in the room. This is a new Chanel item. The camellia flower fell off, but I'm going to do an unboxing soon. I got this a few weeks ago, so it's been a while. I just haven't had a chance to get around to the unboxing, but I will do it. And in that video, I'm going to have to ask you guys for advice on how to care for this as well, because this is a first for me. So you'll see what I mean when you watch that upcoming video. But these goodies out here are sitting here because I wanted to talk about also how I store my items. So it's not just about, choosing the right item that you feel has good value and good quality, also maintaining and caring for an item, but it's also about how you store properly, right? If it's like getting smushed or squished or dented, or it's in a high moisture area, or even in high sunlight, things can get damaged. So storage is really important. And I've gotten the question a lot about how I store my bags. So I mentioned earlier that I line up all of my handbags on a shelf inside my little closet. And every bag, whether it's high end or not, goes in a dust bag, period. So if it's my Coach bag, if it's my Chanel bag, they go in a dust bag. And luckily, most handbags come with their own dust bag, so that's a beautiful thing. This one here is my Chanel wallet on chain. I'm just using this to demonstrate. Came with a felt, so I use it. Usually when an item comes with these kinds of materials, they're perfect to use for packing them and storing them. So I kept that felt. That helps to reduce the pressure from the zipper pull pushing into the leather under here. And I tuck the chain in so I don't just like have the chain kind of hanging out, indenting the leather. No, so this too takes just a small amount of effort to store things properly. And then you know that it's going to be, sitting upright. I don't put these things in the sun for a long time. My closet is dark. It's moisture free with the baking soda, right? Same here with my classic flap. It has the classic dust bag. So this pocket right here is perfect for tucking in your chains. I do not tuck my chains inside my classic flap because that really lifts up the outer flap and kind of creates like this misshapen cone at the top. Sometimes I see people store their classic flaps with the chains pulled together all on one side. I'll show you what I mean. So here again, the felt that came with the packaging, I asked my SA to just keep it all in there so that I can reuse it. And I also have my bags stuffed so that it doesn't get flattened out, right? Just some tissue paper, or in some case I use air paper, like the bubble paper that comes with packing materials. But I've seen people, for example, pull this and stick it in just on that one side and then close it back up. Okay, and over time, if you do this, it's going to create a crooked effect. The flap is no longer going to be symmetrical from the front. This side is naturally going to get lifted because it has something pushing it up higher, and this side is going to be flatter. So I do not recommend that. Even if you were to even it out and you were to do, for example, half and half, and maybe put half of this chain here and then half of the chain on the other side, tuck it in. Like I was saying before, I don't like that lifted effect that's going to eventually create a cone at the top of your flap. So I believe there's a reason why Chanel classic dust bags have that top pocket, and I think it's perfect. If you want to be even more careful and go above and beyond, you can wrap this in tissue paper, up here, and then stick it up. I mean, this is not about babying your items. This is not about like, being overly fussy. This is just about protecting them to a certain extent so that you can enjoy them for longer and really maintain the integrity of the shape and the design. The one back there is my Hermes Birkin. So this one here, I just have it sit up in the middle shelf inside my closet, but I wanted to tell a funny story because while I was reaching for something the other day, somehow my hand knocked this over and it fell, like tumbled from the shelf, like upside down, flipped over. And I have my tripod in the center of my closet when I walk in, the tripod that I use, the one I'm using right now to film. And, it's got like 3 legs and a sharp top and it's got stuff on it, gadgets, and it's all like metal and plastic. And it landed right on top of the tripod, like a crash. And I thought, oh my goodness. And I mean, I wasn't really that alarmed, but I thought, whoa. And I picked it back up and I pulled it out of the dust bag and it was perfectly fine. And that's my point. The dust bags are there for a purpose. And if it wasn't for the dust bag, I'm pretty sure that the leather would have been scraped or scratched, or maybe the hardware would have, got hooked on something and gotten scratched. So why? Again, it's not about fussing and babying these things because you just want to use them and enjoy them. But why get them unnecessarily damaged if you can just put a simple dust bag on top of them, or like just store them properly, right? So just wanted to share that quick little story with you. Let me clean this up. Okay, that's the best I'm going to do for a quick cleanup job here. I hope this video was interesting and helpful for those of you who are also looking to practice more slow fashion and resist the temptations of getting sucked into the fast fashion trends. I did read in a New York Times article not too long ago that the average American produces 75 pounds of textile waste every year. And that blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. So I'll leave you with that. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up, perhaps share it with a friend, and comment down below. Let me know what are some of the slow fashion practices that you would recommend. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.